Native Instruments Komplete 13 is coming up. So let's have a quick look. What's inside? What is Komplete? What is Komplete 13? What's new in Komplete 13? And if you're new to Native Instruments Komplete, then Komplete is the bundle of products, and it comes in 4 different packages. And we have the Select, which is the most basic with 16 instruments and effects. Then you have Komplete, which is 68 instruments and effects. Then you have the Ultimate with 118. And finally, we have the Ultimate Collector's Edition with 122 instruments and effects. You also get expansions and other sounds. So to compare between those, we can go to the comparison table, which is here on this page. Let me just give you a quick look here, and you can do this on your own. Just go to the compare bundles and you'll see all the different instruments, the different effects, the different expansions that are included in Komplete, and they are of course by the different bundles. So the Select is the most basic one, and the Ultimate Collector's Edition is the most comprehensive one. And you can see what's included in each. Very nice to see this, because it helps you to understand exactly what you get. So let's jump over and see what is new with Komplete 13. So what's new with Komplete 13? Well, we'll have the Guitar Rig 6 Pro, and I'm waiting for this one because I'm using it not only as a guitar amp simulator, but for the effects and the sound design options. We'll have the Ceremona Quartet with 4 different string instruments. We'll have Arkhis, which I already covered in my channel. Super 8, which is really good synthesizer for basses and other sounds. Really good. I covered this one in my channel. And the Noire piano. Mysteria, which is really good cinematic and vocal kind of synthesizer. Really interesting. And we'll also have the Pharlight, which is a vocal-based granular instrument. We'll have the Session Guitarist Electric Sunburst Deluxe, which I'll show you in a moment. The Play series, which is awesome. I really love this one, and it includes the Butch Vig Drums, Lo-Fi Glow, Modular Icons, Cloud Supply, which are an addition to the Komplete 13, and I cover all of them in my channel. And of course, the Realm Reverb, which is awesome. We'll have the Mallet Flux, which I'm going to cover pretty soon, but I'm going to show you this in a moment, and a lot of expansions. So let's dive in and see some examples. Let's have a closer look at some of these products. This is Komplete Control. It's a host program to load instruments and synthesizers, even effects that support the NKS format. And I'll use this to kind of preview some of the additions to Komplete 13. So the first one is Butch Vig Drums. It's part of the Play series. And what you have here is a drum sampler, and you have the pads themselves. You can just program the MIDI. And I'm just playing my keyboard here. And we also have some pre-made patterns. Now, for each of the presets, you'll have some macros, and you can actually create your own kit, and you can assign those macros or create your own macros using the different options here. So this is the main view. We have kit view, where you can see the pads and you can change the samples, for example. And you also have the pattern here. So you can see the different patterns. And we have effects, and there are 3 types of effects. We have the insert effects, and you see this little view here of the pads, and I can select whatever pad, and then I'll have the insert effects for that pad. And there are a lot of different effects to choose from. So this is not just a simple drum sampler, lots of options here. And then we have some global effects chain, and we have send effects, which will be basically either reverb or a kind of delay. So this is pretty cool, and this is Butch Vig Drums. I have a tutorial covering this in my channel. So let's see something else. We have Arkhis. So I hope I pronounce it correctly. And what we have here is an orchestral tool, and it is a kind of a library that Native Instruments collaborated with orchestral tools. And we have 3 different layers, layer 1, 2, and 3, and we can combine them with the central control here. And that central control is also linked to my mod wheel. So let me play something. And we can select something else, for example. Now you can actually change the different layers, and you can select any different samples or presets here for each of the layers, just very easily from the drop down. And you have separate volume and pitch control for each of the layers. You have envelope for each of the layers, and you have some effects for the layers. But we also have a global envelope and a global effects section. So this is pretty cool. And that's it. So this is Arkhis. And let's play with some other preset just for fun here. Let's select something just randomly. Very nice. So this is Arkhis, and another very interesting library would be the Mysteria. This is a kind of a vocal or I don't know how to really define this. So this is very interesting. You have all kinds of voices and textures of human singing and chord. So really interesting. Let me show you. And we can select something else. And again, the user interface is pretty simple and very intuitive, but you can do a lot going into the details here. So of course we can change the layers for each of the sides, for the left or for the right, and you'll have some information here about if it's just a single or is it a core, male, female, and so on. So you can select for the left and the right, and you can audition this in real time. And then we also have some other controls here for each of the layers, and really is very, very comprehensive. Lots of things under the hood here. We have some effects, and we can assign them to each of the layers, and you can see that we have some color, drive, stereo, phaser, and so on. So very nice. And some other settings for a global, like EQ, saturation, dynamics, velocity curves, and so on. So this is Mysteria. So check my channel for more information about that one. Very interesting. Some other things that I think worth noting in Komplete 13 would be additions to the Play series. So Cloud Supply, for example, and Lo-Fi Glow. Let's try the Lo-Fi Glow first. And we have Modular Icons as well. So it's all very interesting libraries. Looks simple, but you have a lot of choices and a lot of things to tweak if you go into the details. Let's try something here. Let's go to leads. And again, the same idea here as the rest of the Play series. We have A layer, B layer, and you can balance between them. We have some macros on the bottom here, and you can assign them or change them. We also have a sequencer. So right now it's turned off. Let's turn it on and have a listen. And I can change the pitch, and I can set the steps to whatever I want. And we can also let's select something else here. For example, let's get this one. And what I like about this one is that you can actually set the scale for the sequencer. Very nice. And we also have some macros here, and these are the macros you see on the bottom, and you can actually change those. And the way to assign these buttons, or if you create your own kind of preset, then let's go to effects, for example. And here I can select something, for example, cabinet or phaser, for example. And now I want to have the filter macro, the first one, to change the depth here. So I'll just click this little light here, and then I'll click this button here, and I can set the range. So it's pretty cool. And you can see this go as I change the filter and resonance. So this is Lo-Fi Glow. Very interesting, sounds great. And let's move to Modular Icons. And this is a very interesting tool, very interesting library. It is sampled from modular synthesizer and some iconics, you know, things that you wouldn't normally have a chance to play yourself. And again, the Play series is very simple on the outside. As you can see, we have the A and the B layers. You can change those layers very easily, and you'll see the little A here. And we can browse this back here. And now we can play. And let's try something else. Amazing. All right, so next, let's have a look at something completely different. Let's jump over to electric Sunburst. So this is a kind of a Les Paul, right? And we can play this guitar. And we also have the melody. So what's the melody here? Well, we have some key switches, and if you use, like me, I'm using Complete Control keyboard, then I have the lights, the LEDs here, and I can move to either pattern, or I can play it just note by note as a melody. All right, and we can select some other presets. Let's try what is in the clouds. I'm just checking it out. Yeah, let's try something else. Let's go to, I don't know. Let's try and get scratchers. I don't know what that is. It's just me playing here, and we have some melodies. All right, and let's try something else. Very, very nice. So let's go back here. And one of the things that I'm excited about is Noire, this piano. And if you don't know this one, well, I think that was a long wait for this piano to be joining the Komplete family. So apart from being very interesting in terms of the effects and layering that you can create here, it is a wonderful piano, and just, you know, listening to the basics here. So I'm not a piano player, but I'm going to try and do a good review of this one, and I'll bring in somebody that actually can play, and I'm really excited about this one. Let's try some of the presets. Wonderful. So next we have some other very interesting additions here. Let me go back here, and we have the Mallet Flux. And one thing to note is that this is really dependent on the package that you purchase, or the complete bundle that you get. I mean, not everything is included in all of the bundles, so you have to check the list of products for each of the bundles, and then you'll see it there. Let's have a quick look at something that I also, you know, excited about. We have also the Middle East, the India, but we have also the West Africa joining here, and we have the Cuba. So the West Africa, let's try that one. And it's again, it's the Discovery series. So this is very cool. And we have a lot of very original and very authentic instruments here. So check my channel for more information. I have a tutorial covering everything in West Africa, including the pattern player and other very nice features. So next, let's have a quick look at the Mallet Flux here. So this one is very interesting, and I didn't have the chance to explore this in depth. And you can see that we have different sequencer here for different layers, and each of them is just you know, you can program this separately to create the overall pattern. So I'm going to do a review on this one pretty soon. Let's move on to something else. We also have the Pharlight. Let's try this one. Very interesting as well. So this one is, well, it's a granular kind of vocal instrument. Let's hear it. This is the Stradivari Violin, and it is part of the Ceremona quartet. And it is very heavy in terms of the samples, but it sounds really good, and you have a lot of articulations here. So let's hear it. And you can switch between the articulation using key switches, and if you have complete control keyboard, then you'll see the lights, you'll see the LEDs. And let's try some other presets. So last but not least, this is Super 8. Really love this one. It's a simple synthesizer, but it sounds great. It has 2 oscillators, a filter. You have filter envelope, amp envelope, and some other modulation options. I have a complete tutorial on this one in my channel. Check it out. And of course, we can add some reverb here. That's it. I think we covered Komplete 13 new additions, and if I've missed anything, leave me a comment and I'll do my best to cover that in the next videos. And if you have any question, leave a comment. And of course, check my channel because I do have a lot of stuff there. I covered all the Play series. I have Super 8, I have Massive covered. I have some demos for the pianos. And yeah, and of course, a lot of other things. I'll see you in the next video.